It's ladies night, what? It must be Sarah on the mic. With sweet little Holly, got the sugar, got the spice. We're keeping us tight, we're guests on the night. Linked up with Urban Spirit Studio. That's right. And I'm not a rookie on this all-star team. Me and Holly get you hooked like we're fishing for green. This is home, never leaving us talent alone. Yes, it is my city, it's my throne.
All right, so hi and welcome to the Ladies Night podcast with myself, Sarah, Holly, and our special guest, Yazzy B. We're going to be talking about expectations of women. So that could be expectations basically in a whole. So the definition of expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case. So I've got like a few different notes, but I've got stuff on like maintaining expected beauty standards. So one of the expectations is like society standards can be quite harmful to women in general. We're pressured to look a certain way, and there's certain clothes that are kind of like advertised for us to feel like we can't fit into these clothes. So how do you feel like as women, like feeling pressured with regards to like beauty standards?
I think it's constant and it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for school kids. I'll say that for one. School girls, I feel sorry for young school girls.
And guys, but there's a lot more, I think, pressure on young girls.
Yeah.
I can't swear too much on it, but I'm like, F all of that, because we're all supposed to be individual, and I feel like everybody's being made to think that you have to look a certain type of to be.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not fair.
So what sort of pressures have you guys felt like by society in general? Do you know what I mean? Because like even like today, I was thinking, right, doing a podcast, going live, and I'm like, oh my god, what should I wear? Then I'm like, just wear your tracksuit. Like this is what you wear anyway in general. But I'm like, I'm gonna be on TikTok. Everybody's gonna see this. Yeah.
So you know, don't worry about it, my love.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like you've got that expectation as women, and I'm thinking, am I going to be judged because I've come on and it's like, am I supposed to look a certain way with regards to just sitting down and having a conversation?
Yeah.
Definitely. And I was saying, like, depending on the night in the week, Friday and Saturday, I've got to look glam because it's Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that.
No.
It's only a Friday and a bloody Saturday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
It's true.
It's like, how did you guys, like when you was a young girl in school, did you feel any pressures? What pressures did you feel, and how do you think that's changed now?
I was a bit tomboyish, but I always struggled with my weight. I think that was a big thing with me. I had an eating disorder as well, so and I didn't know that until I was an adult. But it's not it's special, man. But I was always as well a bit like, well, I'm different anyway, so this is how I am, and kind of force my differentness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So have you always been like that?
Yeah.
Like quirky.
Yeah. I had luminous colour nails when I was like 8.
Love that.
And different colours. Yeah, I've always been a bit different. But, so I think the weight thing was the main pressure for me.
Yeah, I think the same with me. I always like kind of struggled with regards to like weight and always wanting to maintain like a certain size, because when I was growing up, that was in the 90s, so you had supermodels who were like super thin, because it was like, what was it called, waifs or something. So they were, obviously things have changed so much now to the point of obviously like BBLs, and we'll come on to that in a bit, but it's like back then it was that you had to basically like size 0, so that was quite hard just to be like a size 10, or I was like probably like size 8 actually when I was at school, but even that felt like I was too big. So it would be like, I remember having things like Slim Fast and stuff, and not having breakfast because I was thinking I can't eat or only eat like once a day and things like that, because just society in general, I guess, was making me feel uncomfortable just being myself.
Definitely. And how did you used to feel like when you used to go on a night out? What was the stress? What was your routine going on a night out?
Oh, a night out back then actually was a lot easier, because kind of like what I wear now. Obviously in the 90s was great because we could wear a lot of like oversized, baggy things.
Yeah.
You could just wear boots. You kind of was like rolling with a man then, so it was nice.
Yeah.
You felt as if you was part of like, it was more cultural. It felt really good back then. I feel more pressured now to look a certain way more than I did back then. That makes
Do you think
sense.
that's because of society now rather than growing up? Because society's changed in that way?
Possibly. I think it might be down to social media and stuff because we're seeing more. Because growing up, I mean, obviously you guys are younger than me, but me growing up, I didn't have a mobile phone. I didn't get a phone till I was like 18. That's when phones were coming out. But I didn't have like social media like that. So I didn't see anybody apart from my neighbours, my schoolmates, college friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you'd only know people within your area. So we all were tight. Everything was nice.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I can be on social media and see someone from Australia, someone from America, someone from China. Do you know what I mean? Somebody, and everybody's like, you look gorgeous, you're amazing, you're this, and it makes you feel like, I don't look like them. Do you know what I mean? Why don't I look like them?
But I always say this, and someone else's beauty does not take away from your own. I always tell myself that whenever you go out and you see somebody like, bloody hell, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Their beauty does not take away from your own. You have to remember that.
This is what it is, and I think society nowadays makes it more of us feel like we're not beautiful, when actually we all are beautiful, regardless of our shape, our size, and that's just it.
Do you think it's because we focus more on the outer person rather than the inner person?
No, definitely.
Yeah, because I always believe like everybody is beautiful, and you know how they say that cheesy, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which is true though, to be fair, because I could find somebody attractive you don't find attractive, and do you know what I mean? It's one of those, but it's more of a soul thing for me. I feel like if you can connect with people, because you can have somebody who, let's say, they aesthetically look gorgeous, but they have nothing within them. They have no substance. But I feel like as society has changed now, it's kind of like we focus so much on the outside and the aesthetic rather than on the inner person.
Definitely. And it's unachievable as well what we're looking to achieve. These people we're looking up to, that is plastic surgery. They didn't look like that. You can't naturally look like that. Their waist is not that small. That is unhuman.
It's just, you do have a tiny waist, I must put it out there.
Yeah, but then they'll have a tiny waist and a fat ass.
Yeah, that's true.
That ain't achievable. I don't care how long you've been to the gym for, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's true. As we're going on to like obviously like the BBL things, I do have that in my notes, like we've got plastic surgery, fillers, BBL, we've got obviously makeup, we've got wigs. Do you kind of feel like you have to do that? And if so, why?
Yes, I have to.
You're like, yeah, go on, tell us why. I'm going to sit back and drink.
And you can't see it, I've had 11 mil of lip filler on my lips. 11. Where's it gone? Dissolved. So that was pointless. What have I spent all that money on? I don't want to tell you how much that's cost me. Dissolved. And then because I have it, and I see my lips looking nice for maximum 2 weeks, then I have to keep it up then. And there was a stage where I was really bad, I was getting it like once a month. Because I just had to have it, and I was like, can't. My lip lady, love her, she's bloody brilliant.
How was you doing it though? Like, what made you want to do it?
Because thin lips aren't in, are they? No one wants thin lips anymore. They want big lips, and I'm not naturally blessed with big lips.
Yeah.
So
do you know what?
But I just, this is where I'm like, no, everybody needs
because
to
if I look at someone else
how
with
you
thin
are,
lips,
you are beautiful,
regardless
of anyone else's lips or nose or bottom or waist or anything that makes me sad. I just want to squeeze you, man.
Yeah, but I know that as well. I would tell anyone else that. If I look at someone else and they've not got fat lips, I don't think, oh, you're not very attractive. I don't even, never even crosses my mind. So why do you think of it about yourself? Because and that never crosses my mind for anyone else. I don't even notice the lips.
I remember my daughter saying to me before, because I was really self-conscious about like going on the beach and like being in a bikini and things like that. And I'm like, no, I've got to cover up my stretch marks and people are going to look at me. And she humbled me, right? She humbled me real big. She was like, what makes you think you're that important that everybody's watching you on the beach? And I thought, true! Because when I'm on the beach, who am I watching on the beach? I'm not watching nobody but my kids.
It's in ourselves, it's our own.
Yeah.
Because that's where I thought.
I'm like that with my, but then when I've just done 10 weeks in there, but it took me like a week before I was like, took the full babies off in there. I need to get the stress.
Because I look at other people and it's kind of like what you're saying, Holly, and I literally look at other women and I'm going, wow, look at her, she's so beautiful, and oh, I love her, like everything about her. And what it is, I'm liking the confidence, because I think that's what I'm realising, no matter whether you're a size 0 or whether you're a size, it could be a size 30, and they'll be on the beach in their bikinis, and I've looked and I've seen that they're beautiful, Yet I'm thinking in my mind, they're going to look at me and like throw up. I don't know why.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know
Throw
what put it
up.
there.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
I know it's crazy because like even my husband, he'll say, you know, your body's beautiful and you housed our babies and I just love that. And but in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, really, liar. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't know why.
It's because you think you have to look at yourself every day, so you're not going to appreciate something you've seen every day. Whereas if you looked at yourself with fresh eyes,
It's all
Yeah.
the cool-ass stuff that they're
Tell 'em,
making
Yazzy.
people think is beautiful. Because no, this makes me sad. I want to squeeze both of you now.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I'm getting over it because
Yeah.
I have to do this thing where I look at myself in the mirror and it sounds a bit crazy, but I have to do this and I stand there every morning in my underwear, look at myself and tell myself that I'm beautiful. And when I put the lotion on and say which parts of me is beautiful, because even though I know it's skin deep and it's not about the outside, I have to give myself that positive outlook because it isn't about how I physically look. But I don't understand where that greying has come from. Do you know what I mean? Like where it was planted from. That's why I'm like, is it society? Is it us? Is it men? Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the time I feel like it's for myself. I think it's probably coming maybe from a few different things, but it's from myself.
yeah, it probably stemmed from all of the things you've just said, but
Yeah.
it's for yourself. That's why you do it, because you're comparing
It's
yourself
stems
to...
from somewhere. There must be something that
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
that won't let that thought process leave you.
And I think you'll find every single woman you come across is dealing with the same thing with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I've
need
just
to
got
take
to
a
a
leaf out of
place
your
where
book.
I wasn't always like this though.
Yeah.
Only like in the last few years where I've learned to love myself. I'm like, this is me, whatever, yeah, fat this, whatever. I don't care because
Yeah.
I live me in it and I know when I scrum up well, I look good. Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's what
Yeah.
matters, isn't it? Like,
And it's
when I
not
put black
arrogance,
bags on,
it's
I can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Put that, and then you might see me looking, and you see me looking all right, and that my image is my own, innit? I don't ever look at anyone and want to be like them or wish that I looked like them. I've never. When I was little, I did though because I got a lot of racism, and so then I wished but then I got to a point where I'm like, no. Something in my head was like, no. None of you are meant to look the same as anyone else. We're all supposed to look different. So we have to all learn to look that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we've got to embrace like our individuality, don't we? Because I've noticed obviously like with the whole like BBLs and fillers and Botox and plastic surgery in general, you know, we look at people who've had all of that, they all look the same.
They all look the same. They're walking in line, you don't know who's who.
No. And I'm like, what? Because like how you were saying about like the lip thing, I've kind of been like that being mixed race. I'm like, how come I didn't get my dad's lips? Because I've got like a little bit, yeah, but there's 1 kilo. So I've got like the top bit where it's a little bit thin. But
I've got a big bottom lip and no top lip. But I use lip liner and I'll put that on and draw my lips on when I want lips.
I used to wear lip liner every day because it made me look like I had big lips.
Yeah.
I used to look like I was going to nightclub to work. I did.
I was going to say, like, with guys, because obviously I know guys have pressure as well. And I know this is about expectations of women, but I know guys go through certain things and they have pressures. But do you think that men have the same pressures as women? Do you feel like they have to look a certain way? Because for me, personally, I feel like, you know, when guys go grey, everybody's like, oh, he's a silver fox. And, oh, he's aging so well. And as when women go grey, oh, she's let herself go. And, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you think it's the same standards for men and for women?
I just don't think it's talked about. I think it should be, because I think it probably is. I think you get a lot of insecure men that worry about what they look and compare themselves. I think most men probably do it. You just don't hear about it because it's not talked about
nowadays. I don't think this is a thing that's been I think the pressure's been more on women for longer to look good in it, like the pin-up girls and this and that and the third. And so women have always, there's been something.
It's like we've been sexualised in a way.
That's what it is. And I think men have remember they're not really attached to their certain emotions as much as women in it. So certain men just don't even, they're just men, they just don't care. But then there are some men who really like, it bothers them what they look like, so they're obsessed with the gym. Or,
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's true, because obviously like when guys start to go bold, I think they have issues with that. Not so much like, I wouldn't say like pot bellies, because a lot of the time, if guys got like beer bellies or pot bellies, they'll still just be out.
Yeah.
Sun comes out, tops off, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like that could be a thing like with men, I guess, like the bolding side of things. But I think you're right, there are guys who do think about the body and they feel the pressures, but maybe they just don't have an outlet to talk about it whereas women, we chat, we can talk about those things, and maybe they just don't feel as if they can be seen.
I do know a few
in
guys who are receding and don't like it. I do know a few guys
Yeah, I
and
think
they're
most
young.
men don't like it.
Yeah, so they try to cover it, but you can't do that.
You can get wigs now, can't you, for men? Little.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah, you can have like wigs and toupees and
the
stuff.
implants thing as well.
Yeah, that's it. But then as women, obviously, we can get away with a lot of those things. Like, we can just literally just pop on a wig when we want to, take it off if we don't want it.
Yeah.
But I guess guys will probably get stigmatised as well with certain things like that as well.
Oh yeah, they probably definitely feel like they can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not the norm, it's not considered the norm for men to. Well, it should be, because nothing's not normal.
Yeah. Do you think it's double standards then? Like as
I think
women
it could be,
and with men?
Oh, definitely. I think it could be, but then also we haven't we've had it for longer, I think. We've been judged for longer, so let us have it.
Well, I was going to say, there was a study that was saying that women have more mental health issues with regards to the way they look than men. So apparently it like impacts our mental health it impacts our mental health more than it does men. So there's an ambulance coming to save us right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys in your life, would you think that, like you say, when we're having this conversation, do you feel like they obsess more than we do, or think about it? You know, like on a night out, we're like, right, I've got to wear this, I've got to wear that, and got to get my hair right, do my
Not with
makeup.
that, I don't think. No, not with that. As long as they've got a Balmain t-shirt and a Valentino shoes, they're not bothered, are
I know some guys who take long to get ready.
they? Yeah.
They're longer than me, because I'm quick.
I do as well.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't even take
Yeah.
long. And they take long, but I don't know.
But then again, I feel like they can wear. What do you think about like me as a female? I feel like if I'm going out, it's got to be a different outfit. I've got to have a different outfit because I can't wear the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Whereas men, they'll go out and they'll wear the exact
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing
yeah.
every single night. As long as I feel like with men, it's got to be designer. As long as they've got designer, they feel confident. With females, we don't have to wear designer. We just have to feel nice.
Yeah.
But I know my boyfriend, he has to wear designer. If he's not got designer on, I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. If he's going out on a night out, he has to wear. He's usually got something with a label or a brand.
Yeah.
Always.
See, I'm not really into brands, because this is where like I am with regards to like looks and brands and stuff like that. I don't care about brands.
I don't.
I think in my mind I care about how I look to a certain extent, but I don't on the other extent. I feel like as I've gotten older, now I don't really care. Like it's taken me a long time, and I've got to this age now where I'm like, it's a blessing to be alive.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was younger, I kind of...
beautiful. You need to, I'm going to message you. That's it. I'm not having.
Yeah, but no, do you know what I have? I've got to that age in my life where I'm just like, do you know what, I actually don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
And I don't care about spending a lot of money on clothes, makeup. I do things now because I like to do things for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of got to that point where, especially, I'll get onto this as well, like filters. Don't do filters when if I've got like no filters on my Instagram, TikTok, all them things.
Me filter on Snap. Yeah.
Only because, to tell you why, I've got like this paranoia that I think if I look absolutely flawless on Instagram and someone looks at me and goes like, you look like that girl Sarah that I follow on Instagram, and then I'm like, yeah, it is me, and they go, oh my gosh, you look that different. I don't want to shock people, I just want to be like, this is me, and embrace it sort of thing. So I'm kind of like, that's where I am. Not against filters, but I'm a little bit like that with them.
I don't use filters.
What
I
do
just
you
don't like
use?
the. Oh no, I
I'm not putting her on blast or anything like that. I am not putting her on blast. You know when you know the inside, you know the inside of what's going on. What do you use? She bows her head in shame. Cheers.
Do you know what? This is live as well, so that's just lovely.
I use filters, but I also do. So on my social media, it's really like, depending on what app you're following me on, like my Snap sees the most, the morning face, the rapid, everything, it sees also sleeping eye, everything. My Insta's a bit more
Yeah.
But in my pictures, because of
Yeah.
the same thing what you said, I wanted to make sure that there's things on there where I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I actually do use filters sometimes, like, especially I would say on TikTok. You know, they have like a foundation one, it looks nice. So, you know, sometimes it's in the morning and you want to look like you've got a bit of makeup on, but you have, you know, you've literally just woken up and you're like, do you know what, I just want to talk to people around about now, and I don't want them to literally see my morning face. Because there are certain apps where you feel a little bit more comfortable to do certain things.
The thing is, sometimes the camera don't make you look as good as you actually look.
Yeah.
So you've got to put the filter on.
Why do you look better in the mirror
Because
than
you
you do
don't
in
know
the
that.
camera?
I don't know, there's like some scientific thing about that.
Because there's the mirror line or there's the camera line, so I hope the camera's line.
I like to take photos in the camera and I take a picture, like take a photograph in the mirror and I'm like, yeah. And then you do a selfie or someone else takes a picture and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, what happened there? Wait, that's not real life. I don't understand what that
I don't know
is.
what to believe.
How we dress. Should we be dressing more classy or more sexy? Because I feel like for me, there's like a time and a place for everything,
Yeah.
classy and sexy. But do you feel sometimes as women we kind of get stigmatized? So like, if you're at work and you're dressing a little bit sexy,
Yeah.
is it appropriate? Is it inappropriate? I don't know where to go with
I
this.
feel like it makes me feel inappropriate. Like, I know when the sun's out and it's too hot, you've got to wear shorts. I feel like just awkward all day because I've got my arse out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't feel as like comfortable because I feel like it's not the right place to wear shorts in the workplace. What do you
I
think?
just wear what I want when I want.
Look,
I wear what I want when I want when I want it.
I just don't care for all of what I do when I'm performing, I make sure I'm Yazzy B.
Yeah.
So I think, other than that, I don't care. There's no, don't stress. This shit's not even ironed.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm the same. You know, I don't iron. Sorry, mother-in-law. She gets quite stressed with these things because she irons like religiously. And my sister-in-law, like that same thing.
Yeah.
Like once a week, irons out. They've got the TV on and they're doing their thing. Me, no. Like if her bed sheets aren't ironed as well, like, you know, if I have to, if it's super creasy, then I will. But that's another thing where I'm just like, no, I'm not like interested in those things. But it's one of those that, you know, like if you're dressing a certain way, if you feel, so sometimes I wear a certain outfit and I feel quite nice and I feel a bit sexy and I feel, do you know what?
When you're feeling yourself.
I'm feeling myself,
Yeah.
I'm liking this. But then I'll then walk down the centre of town and somebody will look at me and go, oh, you look nice. And I don't know why, then I feel uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, not that I'm inviting it, but I just feel a little bit weird because I'm married, right? But it's not that as a married person someone can't give me a compliment. But I do feel sometimes like, oh, if I'm wearing that, am I going to get like the wrong attention sometimes? But then, last week I was literally wearing a tracksuit and I had other guys like literally say to me, wow, you're beautiful, you're stunning. And I'm like, oh. So it actually, I think it was just like the build up to this podcast, it was like it needed to be said to me.
Yeah.
And it actually doesn't matter what I'm wearing.
No.
It's just, again, it's in my mind.
It's in your head, and also it's them probably if they're going to do it appropriately. That's them, not you.
Yeah.
So, and also, I feel like we always assume that it's just inappropriate because that's all we hear. That's what we're used to, isn't it? That's all we hear. But actually, half the time, they could just be just giving you a compliment.
You need to just take that. When you're looking good and you're feeling yourself and someone told you that, just take it as that because that's what it is. Oh, you look bad.